Good morning, dear leaders. Good morning, sir. Srinivasan, sir, am I audible?
Madam, good morning. You are audible, madam. You can able to start.
Okay, sir. Very good morning, dear leaders. A warm welcome to you all. I'm very happy to see you all on today's session. I'm Lakshmi from InVT Training Wing. So before going into the session, a small introduction about our InVT. Invent, Innovate, Inspire. InVT founded by alumnus of IIT, CEG and RLI in a vision to inspire the world by technological inventions and innovations through Neurotechno Corporate, research and training in the field of safety, disruptive technologies and quality. So today we are going to see about industrial proactive fire safety. Elements includes legal requirements, and I would like to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Srinivasan sir. A warm welcome, Srinivasan sir. Srinivasan sir, you can proceed the session. Srinivasan sir. Srinivasan sir, you can start the session.
Dear participants, good morning to all. This is I am Srinivasan R. Lakshmi ma'am, screen visible ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Thank you ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now the time is 11:06. We can wait for another 2 minutes ma'am.
Okay, sir.
In case of any participants will join. Meanwhile,
Sure.
once again, dear participants, good morning to all. Meanwhile, I request you all, please chart your name or which background you are from. If you are working in the HSC domain, you can simply chart in the box HSC, or if you are working in the fire or construction sector, or you are working in the any other domain, please chart in the box, sir. As a participants, which background you are from? Because today we are going to discuss about proactive fire safety elements, sir. Yeah. Rajkamal Babu, sir, thank you, sir. You are from utility and EHS. Prabhakaran, sir, thank you, sir. You are from safety. Thank you, Balasubramanian, sir. You are from HS Training. Please start in the box. Which background you are from?
I am from construction.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your audible response, voice over response. Okay, sir. So shall we start the session? Once again, sir, I am audible to all, sir.
Yes,
Lakshmi, ma'am?
sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Lakshmi, ma'am, I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Lakshmi, ma'am, now I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Screen is also visible. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I can start. Suddenly I got disconnected. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, sir. You can start. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, dear participants, thanks for your registration and thanks for being here. Good morning. Once again, welcome you all. I am Srinivasan R. Now the time is 11:10. Next couple of minutes, we are going to discuss about proactive fire safety elements. So some 2 weeks back, we have discussed session. So in this webinar, we are going to discuss proactive fire elements are required because we are working in the industrial sector as well as considering the legal front. In the fire safety front, what are all the statistical requirements comes under the picture. So all the things, next couple of minutes, we are going to discuss. Participants, please mute, sir. Okay, sir. So, as an industrial professional, I hope, based on your chart chart box, understand what I understood. You all from industrial background. Sorry, sir, I'm continuously getting noise, sir. Please mute, sir. Dear participants, please, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, why we have to discuss the fire safety? I hope you all must agreed on this. Two things, sir. So in our personal life as well as the professional life. So fire is playing the major important role in our personal life as well as the professional life. So absence of fire, we are not able to prepare the food in our personal life. This is one of the basic example. If you think that industrial sector, there are so much of contribution factors are there. For example, electrical safety. From there also, fire is playing the major role. For chemical sector, flammable chemicals, explosive chemicals. From there also, fire is playing the major role. So in this point of view, so if you see in OSHA means, I hope you must aware on this, Occupational Health and Safety Association. This is one of the regulatory body in US based firm. Every year they are listing the major top 10 violations as well as the hazards in industries. If you've seen the last 20 to 25 years of history, every year the fire is playing the major hazard. Fire is occupying the major hazardous portion in the industry, as well as this particular hazard, it is causing the major accidents in industries. What the professional experts are based on their experience, what they are what they are declaring. In industries, fire is one of the top 10 hazard globally, not only in India, globally. And another one thing, around 10% of accidents globally, there are different kind of industries are there. For example, pharma, construction, then manufacturing sector, oil and gas. Likewise, there are different kind of industries are there. So overall, in that industries, there are 10 to 14% of 10 to 14% of accidents are happening through fire every year. Okay. Another one thing, this is the basic statistics I am sharing in the initial forum. Another one thing, one of the famous association body, this is one of the Loss Prevention Association of India. I hope definitely if you studied the Diploma in Industrial Safety, definitely you refer this portion for insurance claiming. Based on their Loss Prevention Association, they have handled so many fire accident cases based on their accidents. Finally, what they are declaring industry wise, if you see chemical sectors, around 28% of fire accidents are happening in chemical sectors. Then 25% of fire accidents are happening in the textile sector, engineering industry. Then 18% of general industries, petrochemical. Another one thing, if you see in the industries, we must know fire is playing the major hazardous role in the industries, especially the electrical portion. If a fire happened in the industry, the electrical is playing the major role play in the fire contribution. Almost 22% of fire accidents are happening through electrical, because if you assume the industry from security gate to the overall premise, depend upon the industry category, absence of power, electrical source, we are not able to run the industry. So the electrical possibilities, the electrical routings are always more possibilities in all the forums throughout the building. So it is occupying 22% of remaining percentages are mentioned here. And another one thing, where the fire accidents are happening, especially the storage premise, the warehouse and material storage yard. 50% of fire accidents are happening in the storage premise itself. Then process and operation oriented. From there, 30%. And another one thing, 20% of remaining fire accidents are happening in the other premises. Apart from the first shift, mostly 31% of accidents, fire accidents are happening in the first shift, and second shift, 26%. In the night shift hours, almost, if you see in the 100% of fire accidents are happening in the industries, off and off percentage of fire accidents are happening in the night shift hours itself. Apart from the statistics, they are listed more than 25 points. What is the contribution factors why the fire is happening? These are all the main points. First, almost we have seen the electrical sectors like poor panel boards, switches, poor cables, cable joints, improper maintenance in the DG premises. So these are all there are so many factors. The major elements I have listed here, and poor fire extinguisher system and poor fire hydrant and automatic system. Namely, they are maintaining the fire system, but it's totally poor condition. There is no any proper maintenance, and there is no any proper then maintenance system overall based upon the process and operation areas, electrical, mechanical, machinery setup, everything in a poor conditioned maintenance. And housekeeping is playing the major fire contribution in the industries. Then waste material storage yards, and finally oil and chemical spillages. Apart from, they have listed one major point, those who are working in the plant, the employees, they are not having the awareness of firefighting system. This is one of the important. Okay. From this slide onwards, we are entered the session. What are the takeaway from this session, sir? Because I hope you may definitely accept on this. Fire safety is one kind of vast and enormous portion. So within this stipulated time, because we are next 45 minutes to 1 hour only, we are going to discuss through this webinar. So within this webinar session itself, we are not able to take everything.
ராஜரத்னம்லேருந்து ஒரு லெட்டர் ஒன்று வந்துருச்சு.
Dear participants, sir, please mute, sir.
என்னன்னா சொல்றேன், ஜிஎஸ்டி ஃபைலிங் போட்டிருந்தேன். அதாவது ஃப்ரம் ஜிஎஸ்டி ரிஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் ஒன்று. எங்க ஓஹோ, அது ஒண்ணு. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒன்னொன்னு.
Lakshmi ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Lakshmi ma'am, please mute ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Muted, sir.
Almost 2-3 participants. I'm getting.
Yes, yes, sir. I will
Now
take
is it
that,
okay,
sir.
ma'am?
Yes, sir. Okay.
I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Shall we proceed the session, sir? Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Already told you. So fire. Yes, ma'am. Shall I proceed, ma'am? So fire safety is one kind of vast and enormous subject. So what are all the takeaway from this session? So as per the experts and the professional masters point of view, what they are insisting is, if you are going to implement the fire safety in our plant, or already you have implemented, or if you are going to implement in the plant, so you have to consider the 15 major elements. There are so many elements are there for proactive manner, because today's our webinar title is proactive fire safety elements. So as a safety person, we have to think everything in a proactive manner. So as per the professional masters and experts point of view, there are 15 elements are mandatory ones. So these are all the takeaway from this session. So first I can list out the 15 elements, then we can discuss through the slides, sir. So every element. First one, fire safety risk assessment. This is the first and topmost element. Second one, fire prevention plan. Then third one, fire protection. There are two types of fire protection. One is passive protection and another one active fire protection. Both things we'll discuss. Another one, manual call point, and fire alarms, alarm hooter and sound, fire detectors, fire sprinklers, hose reel, fire hydrant system, fire pump house, then water storages, fire control panel system, and finally fire extinguishers, and some of the basic best practices. So through this webinar session, we are going to discuss these elements only, sir, because these are all the basic requirement as well as the mandatory element of Sir, one of our participants sent a message, voice is not clear. Is it okay, sir?
Sir, it is clear, sir.
Because I got a message from. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, sir. Fire safety risk assessment. First, in the initial moment itself, we have to consider generally we'll give the priority, always will give the priority for the general risk assessment. So today, in our plant, we are focusing on the fire safety related things. So first, we should give priority for what are all the fire safety related risk involved in the workplace. Based on that, we have to prepare the fire safety based fire related risk assessment, like identify the hazards, identify people, those who are getting affected, and evaluate what are all the possibilities of taking control measures. Then whatever we have identified, those who are getting affected and control measures, everything details needs to be filled in the document. So periodically we have to revise it. So why we should revise, sir? So initially we have prepared the risk assessment. Why continuously we have to revise the risk assessment? Is that mandatory or not? Yes, definitely it is mandatory, sir. Because when it is mandatory means in case of any technical, once you prepare the fire-based risk assessment, after it is circulated, in case of any technical or non-technical based changes happened in the particular work spot, even in the machineries, that time only it's mandatory, sir. Otherwise, you can practice the same risk assessment, sir. And another one thing, the professional masters, what they are insisting as, once you prepare the risk assessment, at least annually once, or to build the best practice, every 2 years once, you can, is there any possibilities of revising? You can work out. So the best practice is annually once. Is there is no any changes means you can always proceed and go ahead the same risk assessment. Or in case of any changes happen means you can revise, you can take support from the technical masters. Finally, you can revise and circulate the copies. So first in the proactive fire safety, first we should consider the fire-based risk assessment. Second, generally in the emergency related, we'll give prioritize for the evacuation plan. So the second category comes for fire safety based emergency plan. This is one of the important one. Based on our industrial setup, we have to prepare separate fire safety based evacuation plan. Normally, if you enter any kind of industry or if you refer their emergency response plan or emergency evacuation plan, simply they prepared for the general safety based evacuation plan. But what the professional masters, the experts, what they are suggesting is for fire safety based evacuation plan should be prepared. This is the second element. So first we have seen the fire safety based risk assessment, first element, and second one, fire safety based evacuation plan. And third one, fire prevention plan. This is one of the important ones, sir. So first we have to ask ourselves, we have fire prevention plan. If it is okay means okay. Sir, we don't have any fire prevention plan means, so these are all the basic requirements. First, if you are going to prepare one fire prevention plan means, first we should consider these 4 minimum requirements. First, in our plant, what are all the fire hazards are there? Then proper handling and storage techniques are implemented or not? What are all the hazardous materials we are handling? For example, if you are working in the oil and gas sector, everything in liquid and gaseous based. So in your industry, most of the hazards are gas and liquids based. So there is in that oil and gas sector, the fire comes from liquids and gases based. Or if you are working in the general industry, for example, automation, or if you are working in the spinning industries, the workplace itself creating machineries due to machineries heat. The workplace itself very heat atmospheric. So likewise, in our plant, what are all the fire-based hazardous materials are there? Everything we can consider that. Then potential ignition source. This is one of the important ones, sir. Then fourth one, protection equipments. While preparing the fire prevention plan, we should consider the PPE requirements. How to protect? Sorry, apart from the PPE, because in the hierarchy, PPE comes under last one. Apart from the PPE category, what are all the sources are there? Necessary sources are there. So these four things we should consider before prepare the fire prevention plan. Apart from, if you are preparing the fire prevention plan, just you can consider these four premises. How to reduce the fire hazards? Depend upon the process and operation requirements. I'm handling some chemicals. That particular chemical comes under explosive category or flammable category. Or in my plant, I am having laboratory. Or in my plant, I am having oil storage area. Likewise, depend upon the industry, there is more possibilities of fire hazard. Is it possible? In a technical basis, is it possible to reduce the fire hazards in our workplace? So in that area, we have to take support from the technical master's guidance. Because we are going to consider the reduced category. Because any kind of situation, but this particular point will not affect our process and operation in future also. So first we have to consider the possibilities of reducing the fire hazards. Then fire prone rooms. Then up to date fire detection and suppression system. Fourth one, creating awareness. The fourth one is very, very important because we are creating the awareness through the signages and providing pep talks and training, everything. Apart from in the fire prevention plan, there are three types of fire prevention plan. One is fire protection, and another one fire prevention, and third one fire suppression. Next, in the fire prevention plan, what the professional masters are insisting as, you have to make it everything in a checklist basis. So periodically, we have to monitor. Otherwise, what happened in the initial moment? We have successfully implemented everything. Over the period of time, if we are periodically or a particular interval of time, if you are not monitoring, means there is more possibilities of fire will occur. So considering this case, we have to periodical interval manner, we have to check everything through the checklist. So checklist implementation is one of the important one in the fire prevention plan. Okay. Once we started the session, first we have seen the fire risk assessment. This is one of the element, and second one, fire evacuation plan. This is second one, and third one, separate fire prevention based plan. This is one. This is the third plan, and fourth one, fire protection plan. Normally, in the fire protection plan, there are two categories. It is classified into two categories. One is active firefighting system. Second one, passive firefighting system. Active firefighting system means whatever visibly we are seeing, we are taking support. For example, for fire controlling or fire extinguishing purpose, whatever we are visibly seeing in front of us, as well as we are taking support from that particular equipment. For example, fire hydrant system, fire sprinkler system, fire alarm system, fire detection system, portable fire extinguishers, fire assembly point, everything comes under active fire system. Then passive firefighting system. passive fire protection means this is classified into three categories. One is structural fire protection, compartmentation means segregation. Then fire protection materials. So what is active fire fighting system? What is passive fire fighting system? In our upcoming slide, we can see the examples. Okay, this is passive fire protection system. Sir, in our industry, I am going to implement the passive type of fire protection system. Why I am implementing passive fire protection system? Because in the initial point, I have identified the risk and hazards, risk assessment. I have identified this much of risk and hazards involved in the workplace. So now I am going to prioritize the passive fire protection system. Passive fire protection means is components or systems of a building or structure that slows or impedance the spread the effects of fire or smoke without activation and usually without movement. Passive fire protection means this particular type of fire protection, if you are implemented in our plant, means this system will not extinguish the fire. This system will control the fire. At the same time, the particular fire will not getting exceeded. This is the advantage. If you implement the passive fire protection system in your plant, you will get two benefits there. One is wherever you implement the passive fire protection system, the particular fire, that particular area, the fire will control, as well as fire will not getting exceeded. Some of the passive fire protection example, like placing firewalls, fire doors, fire resistant glasses, then fire dampers, cable coating, fireproofing, cladding. These are all passive fire protection examples, sir. So through this picture, you can easily understand, sir. For example, if a person, there are two compartments in the building, in the floor. A person working in one portion, another person, another type of, for example, some canteen or a cafeteria based setup. In case of fire happened in the right side area, any kind of situation, the next portion, the equipments, whatever the materials keeping there and people, they will not getting affected because of we have properly implemented the passive fire protections. Like whatever the doors placed there, everything for fire resistance doors. Then fire transfer kill, proper wall. Totally, this is for fire related walls. So there is no possibilities of fire will not broke the wall. So this is passive fire protection. Another one, active fire protection, sir. Active fire protection means if we implement the active fire protection in our plant, what type of benefit will you get, sir? This is fully for extinguish the fire, sir. This is, if we implement the active fire protection means definitely and surely will extinguish. What are all the example protection? So initially I told you, whatever we are physically we are seeing, whatever we are taking support from the fire extinguish or fire control equipments, everything comes under active fire protection. For example, manual call point, fire alarms, hose reel, fire detectors, smoke detectors, fire alarm, portable extinguishers, pressurized escape route, everything comes under active fire protection. Okay. Next fire safety element, manual call point. Generally, in industries, we are using two type of manual call points. One is indoor call point, another one outdoor call points. So indoor call point means in case any kind of fire happened inside of the building, outside of the outdoor call point means in case of any fire happened in the outside of the fire building, outside of the building. So both purpose we are using both type of call points in industries, sir. Normally, if you are placing the fire call point in the building, so it should be installed in the height of 1.4 meter above in the floor level, sir. This is the standard practices. Any kind of situation, the manual call point, MCP, should not increase the height from 1.4 meter from the floor level. This is another important one. And depend upon the industries, the MCP may getting varied, sir. For example, if you are working in the oil and gas sector, from there is more possibilities of gas leakage. So if you see in the general industries, in case of oil storage area, you have a mass volume of oil storage area, or if you are having, you are in the chemical, you are having laboratory, there is more possibilities of flammable. So depend upon the industry requirement, depend upon the workplace requirement, we have to place the manual call points. If it is required for gas release, you can place for the gas release based manual call point. Okay, manual call points, do's and don'ts. This is the general thing. For creating the awareness, we have to insist our people, because normally what happens, sometimes people may unknowingly or wrongly press the manual call point. That particular situation may affect the production as well as the unwanted emergency situation in the plant. So creating the awareness is one of the important one. So do's and don'ts is one of the important one in the manual call point. And another one element, fire alarm sound. This is another important one, because or in case of any fire happened in the fire, or in case of any emergency situation happened in the plant, means people will easily get through this alarm. The main purpose of this alarm is fire alarm is to creating the awareness. So normally this alarm word, it comes from the French. Normally this particular word came from French soldiers. They used this word for alarmee. Over the period of time, it's transferred into alarm. Then fire alarm sounder. The main purpose of the fire alarm sounder is indicating the fire signals. Then next element, fire alarm systems. This is one of the important in the fire proactive fire safety elements. Because in our industry, in case of any flammable related sources are there, once the fire got happened, for example, if you take an example from the office premise, the fire risk category comes under very low, because from there only electrical or electronics items. But if you take example from the oil storage area, or if you take from the warehouse, the severity level may getting exceeded. So depend upon the workplace, we have to place the fire alarm system. So once the fire happened, is there possibilities of smoke, or is there possibilities of heat, or is there possibilities of so both things we have to consider, sir. So before place the fire alarm, we should consider which type of material placed there. Once the fire happened, the flammability range, everything we should consider, sir, in the fire alarm system. Normally in the fire alarm system, there are three types of fire alarm system is there. One is ionization, another one photoelectric, and third one combination. Then fire detection system. This is another important one. So fire detectors. In case of any fire happened means we can get it which location the fire specifically happened. So fire detection is playing a major role in the fire. There are different kind of detectors. For example, smoke detectors and heat detector, flame detector, combustible gas detectors. Whatever our requirement. So we have to place one particular detector from there. For example, in our industry, I am having LPG bulletin yard, or in my industry, I am having one ammonia storage yard. So from there, the leakage will possibilities of through air only. In that particular location, I should consider only for the gas detectors. So depend upon that, which type of materials are placed there, how the flammable sources are there, through air or through heat or through flame. Based on that, we should place the detectors. Okay. Another one important element in the fire safety, proactive fire safety, fire sprinkler system. Generally, there are two type of fire sprinklers are there, sir. One is upright type. Upright type. Another one, pendant type. So mostly everywhere the pendant type of sprinklers are used. Depend upon the requirement. Uprights also playing the major role. Apart from some of the different type of sprinklers are available in the market. Depend upon the work location setup. We have to place the sprinklers also, sir. Okay, and another one thing, this is the basic function of sprinkler. So if you see any kind of sprinkler, in top portion, water flow will be there. This is a central portion plug, and third one liquid, and fourth one sprinkler. So any kind of sprinkler placed in the floor, normally from 5 to 7 bar pressured water will be in the backside of the top portion of the sprinkler. There are some 6 type of classes are there. Why different type of sprinklers are practiced means, for example, in that particular room temperature within 57 degrees centigrade means I can prioritize for the yellow color shaded fire sprinkler system. In case if I am placing some oil storage, oil based equipment, for example, petrol, diesel, or any highly flammable related oil I am placing there means, from there I am going to place the 68 degree type of fire sprinkler. The ultimate motto is what type of material we are placing there. In case the flammable happened means, the flammable ranges should be considered. Based on that, the particular fire sprinkler should be placed there, sir. And another one thing, fire hydrant system, sir. So almost we are in the closing stage. Fire hydrant system. This is another important in the fire sector, sir. Fire hydrant is not mandatory for all the industries, sir. While you get the fire license, while you get the fire license, the local fire officials will make a visit. Based on the document submission, based on the process of operation, they will insist us you should implement the fire hydrant system. So in case that particular fire hydrant system is not applicable for means, then it is okay. So generally in industries, if you are practiced fire hydrant system means there are so many components are there. So this is comes under fire hydrant system. Fire pump house. So sorry, sir. Please mute, sir. Dear participants, sir, please, sir. Yes, sir. fire hydrant system. Another one, fire pump house. This is one of the very important ones. In our body, heart is playing the major role. So absence of heart, we are not able to, absence of heartbeat, we are not able to survive our life. So likewise, in the fire hydrant system, fire pump is the heart of the overall fire hydrant system. So this is the general setup of fire pump house. Normally in the fire pump house, there are different types of pumps are placed in the inside of the fire pump house, like jacket pump, called as booster pump. Main,
Sir, your voice is not clear, sir.
main pump and hydrant, fire sprinkler pump and diesel engine pump. So these are all the basic requirements of fire pump house. Then another one thing, this is the basic fire pump house component. Now is it okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Now is it okay?
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Hello, dear
Sir,
participant.
you can continue, sir.
Now I am audible, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir. Fire pump main components. Okay, I already told you, fire pump is one of the heart of fire hydrant system. If you are placed the basic fire pump house in your plant, means these are all the components. Actually, Mr. Munish Gumudi is asking, please repeat once again, sir. I can repeat the previous slide. Fire pump house. Dear person, with your permission, I am repeating this slide once again. Fire pump house, if you are placed in your plant, you are having fire pump house in your plant means, normally, if you are having fire pump house, there are 4 types of pumps are available inside of the fire pump house. One is booster pump, another one diesel engine pump, then fire hydrant main pump, then fire sprinkler main pump. These are all the 4 major pumps placed in the any kind of fire pump room. And apart from the water flow, depend upon the pump, the water flow pressure may getting varied. For example, so we are maintaining different kind of pressures for different kind of pumps. For example, jockey pump, we are maintaining 7.5 bar pressure water flow. Diesel pump, 5.5 bar pressure water flow. Then main hydrant pump for 6.5 bar pressure water flow and sprinkler main pump for below 6 bar. Okay. These are all the main fire pump components. If you are having, for example, in an industry, they are maintaining one fire pump house means these are all the basic fire component, fire pump house components, sir. And another one thing, another one element, fire hose cabinet system. This is one of the important one. The proactive fire category, sir. There are different kind of fire hose cabinets are there. Fire hose cabinets, we are placing the fire hoses inside of the cabinets, sir. Normally, as per the standard and best practices, there are two fire hoses are placed in the inside of the fire hose cabinet. And fire hose reel system. This is one of the important one. There are different kind of fire hoses are there. There are two type of hoses practiced in industries. One is for suction hose and another one for delivery hose. Delivery hose, there are three types of delivery hoses. One is for canvas, another one rubber, and finally synthetic type. Then fire hose reel. This is one of the technique we practice internationally practiced in the fire hose ports techniques. Similarly, for pause, in case of any fire happened, means we are using the fire extinguisher for the method of pause. Similarly, while using the fire hoses, globally it is practiced for fire hose reel ports technique. Ports means P-O-R-T-S, port. First, pull out the hose reel from drum. Next, O. O means on the supply and valve control. R stands for roll out the hose. T stands for turn on the nozzle valve. Finally, S stands for spray at base of fire. Then fire water storage system. This is one of the important ones, sir. If you are implemented fire safety system in your industry, means we have to water is one of the mandatory ones. Normally, there are two types of water practiced in industries. One is sump water and another one terrace water. So water storage is one of the important one in the fire safety. So because absence of water, in case of any major fire happened, especially in your industry setup is a high-rise building based system, means apart from the fire hydrant system, apart from the fire sprinkler, externally we have to pour the water. For example, some 2 days back, one of the major fire accident happened in the Varadam belt. So likewise, in case of uncontrolled fire happened, means we have take it support from the fire hydrant and fire tenders. So water storage is one of the important one. And fire control panel system. This is also one of the important ones. So whatever we have seen in the, for example, once again I'm repeating. For example, in the fire protection plan, there are two type of plan is there. One is active firefighting and passive firefighting. So whatever comes under active firefighting system category, like fire detectors, fire alarm, manual call point, fire sprinklers, everything, whatever the automation and everything should be controlled. For that case only, we are implementing the fire control plan through the panel system. Through this panel, we can easily identify in which location fire happened, or which location the smoke got detected, or which location the heat detector functioned. Everything we can get it through this control panel system. So implementation of fire control panel system is one of the important ones, sir. And we are in the closing stage. And finally, fire extinguishers. So different kind of fire extinguisher. Already you all must have there are some dry chemical powder, carbon dioxide, foam. These are all the basic fire extinguishers we are practiced in the industries, portable type. So which type of fire extinguisher needs to be used at what purpose? Based upon the risk assessment, fire extinguisher should be placed in the workplace itself, sir, wherever the requirement meets. And finally, some of the basic best practices, sir. For example, apart from the this proactive fire safety elements, work permit, because while people are engaging the work, for example, in kind of any kind of fabrication work, welding or gasketing, or in case of any grinding, that time there is more possibilities of flame sparks will thrown in the work spot. So considering this case, we have to implement effective hot work permit system. This is one of the important words, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. Please mute, sir. Okay. Hot work permit system, specifically focusing on what are all the hot work based activities or possibilities in our workplace. For that case, we have to implement effective hot work permit system. This is one of the best practices. And another one, spark arresters. Mostly this is common for all kind of oil and gas sectors, highly flammable areas. In your process and operation, if you are producing, if you are manufacturing highly flammable sources, or if you are handling highly flammable sources, means this vehicle entry itself, they may give more prioritize for the, apart from the technicals, the vehicle emission may cause fire. So considering this case, they are severely implementing this spark arrest system. And another one thing, smoking. A separate smoking zone for the employees. And another one thing, training, creating awareness. Apart from this, whatever we have seen in the proactive fire safety elements, apart from considering the best practices category, wherever the forum meets, for example, through the pep talk, through the training, through the workshop, we have to teach them what are all the fire safety, fire-based risk and hazards in our workplace, how to control. So everything we can discuss through the education forum, like through the training. Okay, sir. So that's it from my side, sir. And this is the last forum. Initially, I told you. So once again, I can recall, sir. If you, in your industry, if you are going to implement the best fire safety system in your industry, or already you have implemented, or you want to fine tune which area I want to improve, means as per the expert's point of view, professional master's point of view, they have listed out some 15 proactive fire safety elements. So once again, I can list out, sir. First one, fire safety based risk assessment. And second one, fire safety based emergency evacuation plan. Third one, fire prevention plan. Then fire protection plan. Active firefighting, considering we have to consider both the active firefighting system in our industry. If it is required for active firefighting system, means I can go ahead and engage for active firefighting system. Or in case, based upon the risk and assessment, I have identified passive firefighting record means you can go ahead and proceed for passive firefighting system. On the examples, and manual call point, fire alarm hooter and sounder, fire alarm system, fire alarm monitoring, fire detection system, different kind of detectors, and fire sprinkler system. Then fire hydrant system. Then fire pump house. Then fire hose cabinet system. Then fire hose reel system, because cabinet, this is only for empty. If you don't have placed the roll, means this is only comes under cabinet system. So fire hose reel system. Then fire water storage. Finally, fire control panel system. Then fire extinguishers. Apart from these are all the basic. Please, last few minutes, sir. We'll close the session, sir. Please, sir. I'm continuously getting noise. These are all the basic requirements. Apart from this, okay, sir. Initially, I told you this fire safety, especially in the proactive manner. If you want to discuss, this is one of the vast and enormous forum. We are not able to discuss everything through this within this stipulated short span of time. I have tried to cover the major, whatever the experts' point of view, whatever they insisted, all the major elements I have distorted and covered in the basic manner. Apart from this webinar, if you are interested to enhance your knowledge in the fire safety, so these are all the learning platforms available. So first legal category, the Practice Act 1948. Whenever if you have any kind of clarification or doubts, you can always go and refer for. We are in the Tamil Nadu, so the Practice Act 1948, Section 31 and 36, 36A, and 37, 38. These are all fully for fire safety related. Then Tamil Nadu State Factories Rules, Rule 61 for fire protection. Apart from the Practice Act and factory rules, we are dependent on to getting the fire license. We are dependent on the local fire service department. So considering this, the Tamil Nadu government also has having separate acts and rules. These particular rules we have to refer. The petroleum rules. These are all the major fire-based legal rules and acts practiced in India. For example, if you are working in the oil and gas sector, the Petroleum Rules 2002, Rule 117, SMPV Rules 1981, and Indian Standards for BAS. There are some 200 plus fire safety based codes are there. So next we are going to discuss that. And National Building Code 2016 and OASD codes and TAC in case of any fire accidents happened in our plant. This TAC and IDOI, fire tariff both comes under picture. These are all the national level standards. Apart from if you want to enhance your knowledge in the fire safety in the international domain. So the first and foremost choice is NFPA codes USA and OSHA, general industry and construction industry. Both they are having fire regulation series. For general industries 1910 and construction series 1926. Both you can refer. Many of the industries in the UK industries, they are first prioritizing for their local norms. For in the UK government, they are also having the regulatory reform order 2005. Similarly, for National Building Code in India, the Building Safety Regulatory Code. Then finally, National Fire Code Canada 2015. These are all the fire safety reference. Last only 1 second, sir. Only one document, sir. I can show you this also. So this screen visible, sir. Dear participant. Lakshmi ma'am.
Yes, sir.
This Industrial Safety Chronicle visible, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So whenever if you have any kind of doubts or clarification in the fire safety in India, already told you there are some 200 plus fire safety standards practiced in India. For example, whatever we are discussing will circulate through our mail, sir. For example, I am going to implement a fire detector and alarm system in my industry. I don't have any idea, or I am having some little bit of idea. Further, I want to escalate the detector and alarm point of view means IS 11360. Recently, these are all the recently enacted copies. So you can, once you refer, you will get some basic as well as the full-fledged of ideas.
The
Once
screen
you
is not
refer,
visible.
oh, sorry, sir.
The screen is not visible, sir.
Screen not visible, sir. One second, sir. Now is it okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Building, once again, sir, we have discussed it. Yes, detector system. IS 11360 recently enacted in the year of 2015. So whatever the 200 plus fire safety related IS course, everything available in the Google. Whenever the requirement meets, you can download. Apart from electrical, for example, electrical based, I want to refer and escalate my knowledge in the fire safety sector means these are all the standards, or in case while you are erecting one new plant, there is one requirement electrical based one particular area you want to implement the IS standards means you can refer from 58 to this 67, sir. So, okay, sir. And another one thing, last only one thing, sir. National Building Code. This is one of the important one. Because if you are discussing in the proactive manner or any kind of manner in the fire safety, absence of discussing the National Building Code, the session will not definitely will not complete. Because the National Building Code playing that much of role play in the fire and safety sector. So this National Building Code visible, sir?
Visible, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. First, we have seen after completion of the session, we have seen what are all the fire safety based national and international level rules and regulation and acts practiced in India. First, we have seen that one. Then second, we have seen what are all the fire safety based Indian standards available in India. Almost some 200 standards are there. That one we have discussed. And third one, National Building Code. In the National Building Code, it is enacted in the year of 2016. In that National Building Code, Part 4, this is fully for fire and life safety. For example, one second, sir. In that Part 4, they have listed the fire safety into different categories. For example, one second, sir, I can show you. For example, in the fire prevention category, they have classified the building into group A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J. We all are working in the industrial sector. So group G comes under our picture, sir. So whenever, if you have any kind of fire safety related clarifications, especially if you want to refer means the first and foremost choice is this National Building Code, sir. Especially group G. For example, no, sir, I am working in the educational sector. I am having one educational building. I want to implement the fire safety system. What are all the legal formalities and what are all the legal requirements? I don't have any idea means the first and foremost choices, you can refer the group B. So once you refer, you will get some basic as well as the full-fledged of ideas, sir. For example, as per the National Building Code, what they are insisting as in India, if you are having more than 15 meter of building, for example, in industry, in your industry, if you are having more than 15 meter high-rise building means the fire license is mandatory. So likewise, there are insisting as there are so many points. Group F, Group G, industrial buildings. What are all the building comes under industrial category? For example, assembly points, industrial laboratories, dry cleaning plants, power plants, generating units. Likewise, everything comes under industrial buildings. Apart from this, they have listed the industrial buildings into 3 categories: low hazard building, high hazard industries, and finally, moderate hazard industries. So that's it from my side, sir. One second. Dear participants, dear participants,
Participants, do you have any question you can ask to trainer Srinivasan, sir?
sir, once again, thank you all, sir, for your valuable time spending here in this webinar. So whatever we have discussed through this last couple of minutes through this proactive fire safety system title, the PPT as well as the course material, everything will send it through mail, sir.
Okay,
So
sir.
you have any doubt, because we have very short another few minutes of time. Other, is there any no question means we can wind up this session, sir. Okay, sir. Shall we wind up this session, sir?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, Srinivasan, sir. Thank you, dear
Thank you.
participants.
Thank you.
I have shared the, yes, I have shared the feedback link in the chat box.
That's okay, ma'am. We'll fill that one feedback.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lakshmi ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your support, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, once again, thank you all. Have a great weekend. Thanks. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.